Hey guys, Crusher045 here again. Looking at this screen here is the start of our user interface video. When you start a political process game in campaign mode, the first thing it tells you to do is pick a chief of staff. What does the chief of staff do? Honestly, not much of anything. They are important though because they essentially are your chief of staff, right? You always want a good chief of staff. The game gives you 3 randomized characters, but if you hit update list, it will give you 3 new updated characters or random characters. If I had hit enable character customization, I could have changed any of these to whatever I wanted, but we'll just keep updating until we find someone that we like. I want someone young as well, preferably somewhere around my age. Let's see. Let's go with this Jasperai here. He basically gives you a brief rundown. I will let you read this if you would like. You can pause the video. I'm sorry about that. Essentially, he just gives you a basic rundown of the game, but we're going to skip that for now in this video because I'm going to walk you through the user interface, what you see right here. And I know at the moment this is very confusing. What am I looking at? So let me walk you through it. What I want you to see is that it's turn-based. There is a next turn button. There's a week counter and a year counter. Every year has 52 weeks, and so each turn is 1 week. You have 40 hours a week, basically, to do political things, unless you have a campaign that has a better chief of staff, which you can have more hours, but you won't really need more unless you're running for office. So let's start with each tab and what it does. The Office tab will always be available to you. It essentially lists your current office. So if I'm in, say, the Senate, I have all of these different tabs to choose from. I've got legislation, which, as you can see, there's no option for me to create legislation because I don't hold political office. But these are the different areas, and as these different areas, the school level, the city level, the state level, and the federal level pass laws, they will pop up here for me to read and understand what the laws are. Challenges are essentially your campaign promises. If you promise people, let's say, lower crime, one of your challenges will be to reduce crime before your term's over, and I'm going to show you how to find that data in this video as well. The next tab is Contacts. These are all of the organizations that are very familiar to you if you're interested in politics at all, such as the Retiree Association, the Organization of Voting Women, Racial Equality, Human Rights, Women's Rights, Environmentalism, and then your PACs. So, and of course, I should have also mentioned that there's also party PACs like Democrats, Republicans, Senate. Yeah, you get the idea. The whole point of this, of course, is to give you opportunities to raise more money. But if you want to run a party that doesn't have any money from any of these, you are more than welcome to do so. And that is what is super cool about this game. The ways that you can go about it are endless. Districts will give you a rundown of how many people are in each district, as well as what your different districts look like. So state district is your state, national district is the entire country, congressional district is the district that I'm going to be running in, state senate, state house, city council, you get the idea. These are jobs that we can run for. In the next episode, I will actually pick one, and I'm going to say that we should run probably for, I think we should just go ahead and run for mayor, but we'll try that in the next episode. The next thing, of course, is events, which are things that you'll be able to do when you're in office that you can fundraise money while you're in office in order to continue running or raise money for your political party so that they can do better on the national stage. And proteges are people who hold your similar political positions, exact same political positions, who you can choose where they run in order to have people that have more policies like you if you're successful. Now we'll go to the campaign tab. The campaign tab is interesting. Basically, we won't see it right now. This will become very, very relevant in future videos. It's essentially all of the information you need to know about running a political campaign. The politicians tab is important because this shows you all of the different politicians in the entire country at every level, from the city level, which is going to show us our mayor here in Topeka, which is Alfred Pattison. You can see his policy positions. You can see his history, what he was. You can also see the city council division. Here's rankings we'll get into eventually as well. Every level of office has rankings. This just tells you how many political points each candidate has, and essentially that tells you how successful they are in politics. city council districts, school board, and then of course these are all of the departments. I won't go into each one. You pretty much can figure out what they do. Elections shows you election results. So our current president, which I should have probably clicked to, here's our governor. He's a Republican, of course. State House is very Republican. State Senate is very Republican. Departments. And then at the federal level, we have a Democratic president. We have a Democratic House and a Republican Senate. And, of course, I should show you. It won't let me do that right now. I'll have to show you elections in order to show you the House. There's going to be updates to this, and I really hope there will be, because some of it can be very confusing to read, and I understand that. We'll go through it little bit by little bit in each video. I just wanted to show you what it looks like for now, so you get an idea. If we go into elections, and it'll start on federal, obviously, the archive will show any election you want in the past. If you click on these levels, this is the most recent results. So 2012 was the most recent election, in which Kenny Lee, our president, won all of these states to win presidency, which, I mean, that's a pretty good presidential election. Really pretty good. But you can see what states are up for grabs and things like that. The Senate as well. If I hit other elections, it'll show the elections by party. And then the House will show me as well what the House breakdown of each state is. Here we are in Kansas, in a very red state. This is going to be very, very tough. Although if you look at the voting between the candidates in our state, it's not too bad. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. It won't show anything in the archive because we haven't played long enough for there to be an archive. Metrics are very, very, very important. These are the informational stats to show you how well the government's doing, how well the country's doing, how well everything is doing. And this is how you can keep track of like how well things have gotten, or political success, political failure, if you want to be honest. Basically, you've got the government approval rating on the city stage, the state stage, and the national stage. Population for the city, population for the state, population for the nation. You get the idea. This shows a breakdown of how many people of each party are in a city, in the area. The educational level of the city, the state, and then the nation. The poverty level, economy, which shows you the per capita income, all of this. These will all be more important as we play along, and I'll walk you through that. I just wanted to show you what it looks like at the moment. The most important one, in my opinion, is budget, because America has this massive budget deficit, as we all know. And one of the cool challenges you can do in this game is to try and lower that to 0 or become in the green. It's very hard, but it's very possible. This will fill out as we go through 1 year. You'll see an actual graph start to form. I've played games for over 100 years with several different candidates, and the data builds up really quickly. These are the current laws in place, which, if you want a quick breakdown of what the laws look like in each country, or each state, each city, you get the idea. It'll show you. I should say each city. You're only able to see your city at the moment. I'm really hoping that changes to at least be able to see the biggest cities in the country. Profile shows us and our history, our stats, our policy, and our elections. We'll get into this, and I think when we start running for office, that'll be the first thing I do is change policies. News is just general news from around the country. And yeah, that basically does it for this video on the UI. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to answer them. I'm hoping that some of them will be answered as we actually play along. Oh yeah, one more thing. These options up here. These essentially are very important items that you need to be aware of, that you need to do. That's why there's a check button. These are messages like these, as you can see in the middle of the screen here. Messages, very important to cover when they come up, just to understand what's going on. This is your approval rating, which shows you approval between Democrats and Republicans, as well as independents. This is your political points and your name recognition. So yeah, I hope that covers just about everything. If in the next video you'll see me try to run for office, and I might break that down into several episodes to cover each step of that, and hopefully you guys join me in that. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.